Aimpoint started in 1974 making the first red dot sight, and from that time they have become legendary not only for military, police, but also for civilians. These are battle proven, they're super tough, and over 1 million Aimpoint sights are currently being used by the US military. And the Aimpoint T1 has been king of the hill when it comes to micro red dots. But now we're going to take a look at the Aimpoint T2, which has features that not only match the T1, but go a number of steps above. To me, one of the biggest appeals of a micro dot is the small footprint that it makes on your rifle. The AR-15 was made to be very streamlined and very lightweight, maneuverable. You put a red dot on here, it makes it really compact. Putting a larger optic on here definitely gives you some advantages because of magnification, but really it makes it nice for this rifle, and that's just one of the things I like. Not only is it small in size, it's small in weight. They come in at 3 ounces without the mount. With the standard Aimpoint mount, it's 3.7 ounces. There are a ton of different mounting options out on the market, not only from Aimpoint, but also different variations for quick detach and other skeletonized mounts. So there's a lot of choices. Now this just happens to be one of the Kinetic development group. It's the SDE lock, and this is a really cool quick detach mount. We'll kind of look at that a little bit more in a minute, but there are so many options out there which makes this even more appealing. The length is 2.58 inches, the width is 1.9/16 of an inch, and the height is 1.38 inch. You're adding, aftermarket mounts, and that's going to, change the height. But this is perfect for 1/3 co-witness to go with the sights that you have on your rifle. The brightness control for your red dot has 12 settings, and it's right here on the side, a rubberized ring that goes around to really give you good traction for the sight. It's a very smooth operation from off to your first 4 settings, which are night vision compatible, and then we have the remainders that just increase the brightness of the dot all the way up again to a total of 12 settings, 8 daylight settings. When you get into the mid-range like 7 and 6 power, this will give you 50,000 hours of battery life, and that's over 5 years. So you're going to be able to install your CR2032 battery, which is really common, and get an extensive amount of battery life. And what that does is, if you ever need this rifle for that bump in the night, if you need to just pull it up, you don't have to worry about it not being on. You can just leave this on constant. And so this really makes this a very friendly sight for self-defense. And if you're like me, I constantly leave my electronic sights on. And it never fails. I get out to the range and the battery's dead. The brightness setting is marked on the side as well for intensity. And then of course your battery cap, it's a large slot. I'm going to go ahead and remove the cap so we can just see the battery inside. It's locked in with small brass teeth all the way around, and this holds into place. Really, most guys will recommend to just change this out once a year just to be on the safe side, but again, it'll last a lot longer. There are some rubber rings right here, and there are O-rings around the side. And so this was going to protect your battery. But now some of the features of the T2 over the T1, first off, are the lens caps. And that's been one of the things that's been a problem. The T2 is a little bit longer to allow for these slip covers to come over, rather than the bikini cover that was originally on here that can get lost and it just gets in the way. But this is a see-through piece at the back, and at the front it's actually a covered piece. Now, one thing you'll notice is there's no piece here. And when I was at the range the other day, we were loading up and I lost this. It popped out somehow. And that's one of the things about it. I was kind of surprised this comes out because the clear piece does not come out. I mean, it is very difficult to remove. But it's also fairly difficult to remove these covers. I mean, they are on there really tight, but they will come off. And one of the cool things about this too is that gives you somewhat of an advantage is you can put anti-reflective kill flash in the threads right here to be able to keep reflection down. Another difference of the T2 are these built-up areas around your elevation cap. And this helps protect it. There were some that thought that this might be a little bit vulnerable with it just hanging out. Now, it comes off fairly easily. One of the things about this, you can use a spent shell, you can use a screwdriver, and then we have these two little small slots in the cap. Now there is a tool that Aimpoint provides that actually will fit this, but you can also use this windage cover and be able to get to those slots. And here you can see the two little nubs on top of the cap, and they fit right into the holes, the corresponding holes in your windage and elevation. And inside the cap it is marked for the direction that you want to make your adjustments. You can hear it is tactile and it's audible. And this is the sight adjustment tool with the knobs at the front and also with a star key at the bottom. And there is an O-ring that protects this as well. This sight is rated for 25 meters submersible. So that can handle about anything. And then two, these are shockproof and just built like tanks. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It is an aluminum one-piece body, and it has a really nice matte, hard anodized finish on here that keeps from scratching. In fact, I've scuffed this up a number of times and just rubbed it, and the finish just comes right back. Now, one of the best advancements of the T2 over the T1 is the optical enhancement of the glass. It's a better contrast, and one of the things about the T1 which you don't really notice unless you compare it with the T2 is the T1 has a little bit of a blue tint to it that the T2 does not have. And the T2, the dot is very crisp. In fact, it's advanced over the T1. If you put a magnifier up to the T1, you get a little bit of an elongated dot. With the T2, it stays very crisp and very small. Again, it's a 2 MOA dot, and it really makes it crisp and able to get out to distances. And the reflective coating is even better on the T2. So you're getting a number of different advantages with the superior glass, with the protection here, with a little bit of the length of the sight itself. And so, the T1 has been awesome, and it's still a great sight. But if you want to step it up just a little bit to the T2, you're ready to go. And the T2 mounts to any of the T1 sights. Now here we have it at 12, and this is really bright. Bring it down to 11, 10. You're not really going to be able to capture this without looking through it with your naked eye, but you can definitely get the idea. This is 9. Really up to about 7. You're getting enough to be able to see, and then as you get into more and more bright sunlight, you can jump this up. Now here at 11, and then we're going to jump it to 12, and you can see it's really over the top. The Aimpoint red dot sights are designed to be both eyes open, and as you put it up, you see the dot. You see the dot with both eyes. It's almost like you're just looking at a dot, and this will really help for objects that are running. It helps to be able to keep your peripheral vision open, and it helps with eye fatigue. And really the way to shoot is both eyes open, whether pistol, shotgun, rifle, it doesn't matter. But the Aimpoint really helps to develop that both eyes open, with your muscle memory being able just to keep it open. One of the things about this sight too is it's parallax free, which means that no matter where you adjust your head on the stock, that as long as you can see the dot and it's sighted in, that it should be right there. The impact will be where the dot is. And that keeps you from having to be exactly in a specific spot. There are no sights that are truly parallax free. There's always a little bit of parallax adjustment, but for practical purposes, this works perfectly. The T2 is also unlimited eye relief, so it doesn't matter where you are on the rifle, where you mount the sight, you're still getting that really great crisp dot, and you're able to see it in focus. Now these sights are perfect for your AR, but they're also great for shotgun, for higher calibers because they are shockproof, and even for handgun. You naturally shoot with both eyes open with this optic. There's not a lot going on around it, and it makes it a lot faster. If you close one eye, you're going to be slow moving around looking for the dot. Both eyes open, you see the dot as you move, and man, it's just really fast. But the great thing is, if you want magnification, you can attach a magnifier on here, move it out of the way if you need to get close quarter, bring it back in for more precision, and so this gives you just a lot of options. So now when it comes to aim points, Robbie, what is your thought on Aimpoint? I mean, this is the T2, so what do you think? What's your experience? Because I know you do a lot of 3-gun,
yep,
a lot of steel challenge stuff.
I tell you, the Aimpoint is it's the bet your life battle sight. You know, it's the sight that I would put on my rifle if I had to depend my life on this rifle. I know that when I pick my rifle up, I turn the Aimpoint on, that it's going to work, it's going to be accurate, the dot's going to be bright, I'm going to be able to see it. You know, it's everything that you would ever want in a high quality, high end optic. There just isn't anything better.
And with the 50,000 hour bat, I mean, you don't even have to turn the thing on. I mean, leave it on all the time.
Yep.
You know, just
my Aimpoints that I have at home on my rifles beside the bedstand, they stay on year round. I change the battery out once a year.
They are so small, though. I mean, they make such a small footprint on the rifle, and I think that's kind of part of the coolness.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's small, unobtrusive. You know, it's out of the way. You don't even notice that it's on the rifle until you shoulder it, and then the dot's right there in front of your eye, right where it's supposed to be.
Now, what do you think this compared to like the M4? You know, because the reticle, I mean, the objective's larger. You know, what do you think? As far as shooting at targets and transitions.
My personal opinion, I like the smaller sight better because it doesn't force your eye into the tube as much, so you end up with tunnel vision with the tube. You can shoot it both eyes open, and you see around the sight with both eyes a lot better. So it's a lot easier to pick up other targets in your peripheral vision with the smaller sight versus a larger sight.
So like with both eyes open, which is made to shoot that
That's
way.
right.
It does. It doesn't obstruct that second eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, as far as this Kinetic Development Group side lock mount, just press in right here, and then the mount comes right off. I mean, that is a really cool system. It has skeletonized here, and this is a very high quality mount, and this comes in a package from Optics Planet, and then here it comes and it pops right back out. So it's a really easy way to mount this. Now there's a small little lever inside to keep this just from inadvertently getting bumped, and that makes that nice too. But lock it on and it's rock solid, so, and it'll return to zero. Aimpoint has also added helicoil steel threads that go into the aluminum body, and this will keep you from stripping out your aluminum threads. Now, as far as price for the Aimpoint, these guys are super quality. Aimpoint makes really great optics. Obviously, with a track record with the U.S. military, they're just standing up in combat, and because of that, the price reflects it. These sights typically run in over the $700 range. In fact, this optic without the side mount is $750. And then you go with the side mount, it can get up to about $800. If you're looking for the T1, it typically runs about $60 less. You're not getting the night vision compatibility, you're not getting the advanced coatings and the better optic view that you're getting with the T2. Now, if you want to go with the H1 or H2, you're even going about $120 less. So without night vision compatibility, but all the other features that the T1 and the T2 have. So, it's according to what you want to spend on your optic. If you're just going out to the range and you're playing around, you might want to go with something a little less. But if you want something that you can depend your life on, Aimpoint sights are the deal. And you can see this over and over with all the different reviews and the write-ups that come with these sights. Now, I requested this optic from Optics Planet, and I want to thank them for sending the sight, but also they give a 5% discount if you use SUIT00 in the coupon code. Now, down below in the description, I have all the links directly to this site and the other options that you can get. One of the great things about Optics Planet is whatever you order, you get a 5% discount using SUIT00. Now, at the end of my videos, I traditionally give a big thumbs up. It's just what I've been doing for a long time. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of time to put together a solid review, especially if you're going to try to test it out and you're going to do all the things that need to be done to show whatever the product is and what it's capable of. I don't review things that I don't like. I just don't, or things that I wouldn't keep for myself or own for myself. And so because I have been getting some heat for that, saying that I only do positive reviews, I'm going to emit the thumbs up. And there's nothing better to emit that thumbs up than the Aimpoint sight because it stands so far on its own. One thing that I always recommend to guys is that whenever you're looking at a review, look at a number of different reviews. Here we have the T2. It's a definite improvement over the T1 in a lot of different areas. Again, it runs about $60 more, but I feel like that it's well worth the extra funds. But that's your choice. It has everything to do with budgets, what the intended purpose is. If you're just going out to the range to plink, spending $700 is an overkill. You know, the primary arms, microdots, excellent. The vortex, excellent. But if you really want the best, you're not going to be able to beat the T1 or the T2, and the T2 especially. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. One of the great things about Aimpoint, okay, and so that's a you know, dot. Okay. Now the Aimpoint sights are meant to be shot. Both the Aimpoint sights are meant to. This sight on the Optics Planet website runs about $750. It's an Aimpoint into the aluminum body, and this will keep your aluminum housing, the strip, the. Okay. Now the Aimpoint sights are not expensive because they put a lot of quality into their optics. Guys, this Aimpoint T2, it's just awesome.